Hello and welcome everybody, I'm Christian from Berlin. This time I would be especially happy if you like this blues, cause I composed it myself. So, a thumbs up would go straight to my heart. Enjoy this one. Also check out my channel for hundreds of free blues piano tutorials from Jimmy Yancey to Dr. John, whatever you fancy. Let's go, enjoy this one. Welcome everybody to my minor blues in G. As always, we have very familiar elements here. Maybe one or two elements that are sticking out, but it's very much in the right hand what we play blues scale material, either as little drone licks or as blues scale lines. So it's just as always in blues, the recombination of these familiar elements that makes it special, and hopefully this one will sound special in the end. To make it easier, I'll show you briefly the G minor blues scale so that you can really see I'm not lying. It's a lot, most of the 99% is along the G minor blues scale line, makes it easier to learn. Now, is there any special with the chords? Well, it starts like a normal Monday morning in northern Germany with the G minor chord, and already then we have a chord that is standing out a little bit, the E major 7. It's going to be replaced a little bit later by the expected E flat 7. But here, before that, I put in the E flat major 7 because it sounds great, I found. And we also have to talk, honey. We have to talk about 16th notes here. Of course, we have a lot of 16 syncopations, but they're not like the next best thing to hell. But once you get the trick, they're quite easy. I'll show you what I mean. 1 and 2 and 2, 3, 2 and because you have heard them so often, you can count, but sometimes you can just grasp them by listening to it. It's like 1 and 2 and 2, 3, 2 and 4 and da 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 da. Okay, so they're not biting you in the bum. Can I say this on YouTube? I hope. So, regarding the 16ths, let's have a look at the next bar. How is this counted? Again, let's have a look. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. You see there is a regularity even in the syncopated 16ths. Again, I'll show you. 1 and 2 and now listen. 3 and 4 and 1. See if they're coming in a line, then they're quite easy to understand. Here, 3 and 4 and 1, and then they're losing the mystery a little bit. I recommend you practice this upward slide here. It makes such a beautiful sound here. I had to do it, I'm sorry. But you can learn it even, and then it's no problem. Then, just to prove my point with the blues scale material, we have the, here. It's the fill on the first D's, on the 4th bar. Before we go back to the next G minor, we have this. It's just blues scale. Sounds good on G minor. Here. We're just skipping sometimes a note in the blues scale to make it more interesting. Oh, yeah, Christian, that was very interesting indeed. I always recommend get your finger settings sorted out, that you don't have to think it over again when you play it. Like, once you settle this, you settle that you have the second finger here, and the 4th finger on the D flat. So just maybe you want to make your own finger setting, but always take the same, then the rhythm is not breaking down every time you have to rethink it. Okay, now the, again, 16ths. It's just a part of the drone lick, which you know from my many tutorials. Please subscribe. You learn all the, everything you want to learn around blues piano. Also some other stuff about life and anything you want to learn, you learn here, except cooking that I can't. Okay, now 1 and 2 and 2, 3 again the 16th. 1 and 2 and 2, 3 yeah. And now we have the E flat 7. See how bluesy it sounds all of a sudden. 1 and 2 and we have to move on a little bit. And if you can, tremolo it, trill it, while steering through the 4th notes in the left hand. It's like if you're having you just went through the drive-thru at McDonald's and you have a chicken burger, crispy pork burger, whatever exists, French fries, milkshake on your lap. But you're still going 160 miles on the motorway. You're still steering straight, right? And this is the motorway. And this is your McDonald's family menu. You have just for you have bought just for yourself, and you're still steering it, but keep it's the same. Yeah, it sounds funny, but I'm never funny. I'm dead serious. It's the same principle. You can split your attention. It's the same principle in you having McDonald's meal on the motorway, because you must not make a mistake, and most of you don't. And it's the same attention. You play this, and now you're eating. Okay. You can do it, I know it, just practice a little bit. And then we have the opening section in the B part. Now we're finally resolving. It's opening up to the subdominant in minor, the C minor 7. From the perspective of G minor, we have the C minor 7. Suddenly it has the B part. And I quite like it. Usually I don't like what I write, but in this case I quite like it even. So we have this G minor and then it's opening up. And the melody is also rising. 1 and 2 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. It sounds like I'm doing really strange code, coding, whatever, secret code here, but it's not. It's like 3 and 4 and 1 and 3. It's always coming on the t. It's so regular, it's easy to play. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. It's going to be repeated. We got to move on. Have I told you already that there is a slow replay where you can learn at your own tempo, play everything at nearly half tempo, and we move on to the second part of the blues, where I now raise the heat. We have now you're having still the same McDonald's family menu, but you're going up to 200 miles. You have to still pay attention to this guy here and play the chords. But it's slow, so you can manage. 1 and we divert. Learn these voicings. They sound beautiful. It just comes once, but then it sounds really beautiful. Yeah? Bum ba ba bum ba bum 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 ba 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 along the blues scale. Make sure the finger setting is right. Dun, 1, 2, and 3. And we have a little bit, also just a little speciality every now and then here. We have a little A minor 7. Only once, just to irritate you. You have the A minor 7, a little 2-5 in G. Okay, and we move on. And now we have again the A flat. And we're coming to the climax, the summit, the most intense point. And I thought of something special. Why does it sound special? Because in the left hand we have this voicing. Only once. Come on. You know this already from some of my lessons. It's a kind of jazzy origin voicing. In E flat, we have the major third, the 6th, the 7th, and the 9th. Or something like this again. And here we really hammer it in. You bring the weight down of your arm to play it intense. It's just a drone lick. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Yeah. 1 and 2 and and resolving. And then you practice it together with the chords. 1 and 2 and 3 and the little bit more advanced, you can do it without all the counting. The counting causes a dry mouth. Just my mouth is drying out right now. So I always hated counting 16s because it was always 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and after the 4 bars you were dehydrated. So and my teacher had to call like emergency. So and then we have the second opening. Again, practice chord and the C minor 7 voicing, 4 voiced. Practice it separately, that you can find it almost blindly. And yeah, almost blindly. I'm not almost blind, I'm fully blind. Because I want to address a point coming up right now. Now, and here we go. Here, 1 and 2 and so there's a slightly shift in this. Here, play this with me, just 3 times. 1 and 2 and and then you play together. 1 and 2. Here. You see how easy everything becomes when you just extrapolate. Yeah, you just heard me say that word, extrapolate a problem, practice it 3-4 times, then putting it together with the left hand. That's the power of extrapolation. And that was basically it. And now we have an outro where I added again a little bit of artificial blues sweetener to the ending by introducing new chords for the outro. Now we have this chord, the chord G minor, and G minor with the F in the outro. Then we have the E minor 7 flat 5. Yeah. So these chords are so beautiful. I will come to my Patreon site, where I have 4 extra bonus exclusive power lessons where we go into detail and into depth. And on this one, I will definitely do a Patreon part where we will introduce and we look at the chords and improvise over them. So Patreon, I will link the address here somewhere here. Come and join me. Now we have this chord progression, the G minor with the F. Then we have the E half diminished and the D7. Yes, with the F sharp in the bass. It's not really the bass, but the lowest note. Okay, so, and then I just, and the chords are so beautiful, you can do anything. Let's try anything. Just kidding, German humor, but no, blues scale. I just improvise now. Oh. And that's what I do in the outro. And playing blues scale. Yes, if I only could. Yeah, okay, and then we slowly fading out. And now comes the slow replay. I hope you enjoyed my blues. I would be very happy because when you write yourself something, you lose the distance somehow. In the end, you just have no clue anymore if this is any good. You need feedback from listeners to confirm that or not. Anyway, have a good one. Bye-bye from Berlin. Now listen to this slow replay. Learn it by the sheet music. I say bye-bye from Berlin.